Now, let's talk about the situation North Syria. A lot of building destroyed, uh, and a lot of people still under the rubble. My friend here can answer us about the situation North Syria. Uh, what about the building which destroyed? About people under the rubble?
Good evening, everybody. In fact, the situation is catastrophic, to be honest. It is, let's say, words are not enough to describe this catastrophic situation. As mentioned, that many buildings are just destroyed within a minute. Okay, so the situation is so difficult, and people still till now under the ground that people cannot help them, and the situation gets worse and worse because people and we didn't receive that kind of help from outside Syria, to be honest. So only local groups and parties, all of them, let's say most of them volunteers. They are not, let's say, NGOs, to be honest. They are helping the people. They are helping, trying to get people from under the rebels. So as I mentioned, that the words are not enough to describe the situation, and language is weak before this catastrophe.
What about the aims from the outside? Now, what the people here need? Maybe heavy machines, remedy, maybe food, blankets. What about this?
Yeah, the situation, as I mentioned, is so difficult. So, as I mentioned, that we didn't receive any aid from, let's say, from abroad. So we need heavy vehicles to help people to get them from under the rebels. Okay, and we need kind of, let's say, medical groups to help those people who got injured from these earthquakes. To be honest, this is the most destructive, okay, earthquakes that attacks this, let's say, these areas. I mean Idlib and Turkish territories, and Azaz especially. Right now, as you can see behind me, there is, let's say, a shelter, and this shelter continues a lot of women's. They are, let's say, above, let's say the number is above or up more than 200 women's right now, and it's really, let's say, language is so weak in this situation.
Yeah.
So
this was a gym in Azaz city, North Syria.
Yeah.
What about the numbers immigrated to Azaz from Jindaris, Idlib, and another areas?
till now that we don't have accurate number to mention this number, but let's say thousands of people are just being, let's say, fled these areas. As you mentioned, Jindaris and Afrin maybe is going to be, let's say, empty from its people because the risk is right there. As we don't know, as we don't have any, let's say, accurate data as we see. So let's say we don't have the exact number, but we guess that thousands of people, as you can see right now, people just coming, and it's like the doomsday. Okay.
Now, finally, can you tell us about the fear inside people when they came from the destroyed buildings? What was their situation?
Yeah, the situation of them was that they just need to be safe because they are full of fear that their buildings, and it is the last refuge for the Syrian people right now, and it got destroyed. So the situation of them was indescribable, that we can't describe the situation. They were full of fear, and some people full of fear and blood simultaneously. A lot of women got injured of these earthquakes, and they just need a shelter. They just need, let's say, a place to be safe in, because, you know, as I mentioned, their places, their houses got destroyed. So it was, let's say, the last shelter for them. Okay, and it was destroyed. So you can't imagine, even if you don't see, you can't imagine the situation. Okay.
Thank you, and finally,
You are welcome.
We need help really now in North Syria. I'm Abdelkader Osman, media activist from Azaz City. Goodbye.